Superman issue 14, Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason writing and Ivan Reis on art. This is the first part of the Multiplicity arc. So Superman is driving for some reason, despite the fact that he's Superman.
Because he's trying to maintain his as Clark Smith.
Sure.
Right, that's his name in Hamilton.
Yeah. He's got to have a life. That means he's got to have a pickup truck.
All right. He's driving, right? He's driving at night.
But Pete, I thought it was weird too because
thank you.
He's Superman. Superman doesn't drive. He flies.
I get that, but I kind of feel like it depends where he's going. If he's going into town.
Yeah.
Sure, but it's nighttime as well, so it's even less.
Well,
or he just misses being a farmer, and he's like, I'm just gonna go for a late night drive in my pickup truck. It's every country song I've ever heard.
It's true.
But anyway, he's driving, and portal dimensional things, monsters, Russian Superman from Red Sun appears.
Yeah.
Earth 30, and
that's not normal. Speaking Russian.
Of course, he helps him fight these monsters, and then this other team led by Superman of Earth 9, I want to say.
Yep.
Like it. And they show up, and there's something hunting down and capturing Superman from all these different Earths, and they're trying to save them.
Doesn't want our Superman.
But that's important, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't want our
I
Superman.
do as well.
Yeah, I think that.
But it wants Keenan.
Yeah, it was Keenan Kong. Yeah, that's what they're after. Yeah, which was cool to bring him into it. And
then when we see, because they're called the Gatherers that they send, so like Russian Superman comes out, he speaks to Superman in Russian. Of course, Superman knows Russian because he knows different languages, and he's like, the Gatherers are coming, and it was super like, it felt like a sci-fi plot of like an old, even like a Twilight Zone. You know, you have this threat coming to pick everybody up.
Yeah.
And they fight them, and they were super creepy. They were creepier than I thought. You know.
Yeah. When you see them take Keenan later in the issue, and you see like the black goo, like sort of encasing them, that was pretty creepy. I thought that was pretty cool.
Because I was thinking there was gonna be like Brainiac or something along those lines.
I also thought it was creepy how they can't spell list.
Yeah. Just the list.
Yes, with a Y.
And I even like, so Tomasi showing that he knows how to write jerk characters well with Damian and Gardner and now Keenan. Because Keenan's response is, no, the only thing on my list doesn't involve you guys, so I'm out of here. It's just the way he flippantly deals with like everything still. Also, as he's looking at the Buddha monuments and basically talking to his dad, and he's like, oh yeah, Dad, you're right. You can't see these in a photo.
Again, talk about continuity and like them paying attention. That only happened in New Superman in the last issue.
Last month, yeah.
Yeah. It's only been 3 weeks since that issue. So
yeah. Also, you know how I said I dropped New Superman?
Yeah.
After this, I can't. I like Keaton too much. I'm gonna have to drop something else.
Do you know what is really annoying? I was looking like there's a lot of books coming next week. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to cut one just so I could get everything done. And I was saying this to Pete about maybe Thursday.
Yeah.
But before I'd read this was the point, and I was like, I'm looking through them. I was like, I think New Superman's gonna have to go.
Yeah.
And now I'm torn. I don't know.
Yeah. Because I love Keenan as a character so much.
Happy problems. Happy first world problems
it is.
right there.
But yeah, as I was reading it going, I know it's not going to tie into this, but I do want to read what Keenan's up to still.
I just love that they planned this out well enough that... Because it'd be easy enough to have him here and just not mention anything about what's going on with him, just so it could fit in regardless without having to think about it. But no, they timed it so that... No, if you've been reading that book and this just happened, he is thinking about it. It's on his mind. You can see it's still a part of his character that he just went through this. And that's really cool. So that's a cool touch. So Superman basically agrees to join their mission to save all the Supermen. And he's like, yeah, the multiverse. Yeah, I know something about that. Yeah, I've been that a few times.
And it's the multiversity group that Morrison put together.
Yeah, which really threw me off because they did that, and then they immediately threw it away with Convergence, 6 months later.
Yeah, and then they threw away Convergence because it was garbage. That's where it belongs.
Yeah, and so are we just going with Morrison's Multiversity? That's the one that we're going with now.
I think it's both. It has to. It's just like Convergence said that Crisis happened, but it didn't happen, and that's how we got to things. Multiversity happened, but it didn't happen. Weirdly, because without Convergence, we don't get Lois and Clark on this Earth.
Ah, yeah, I forgot about that.
So,
God damn it.
Yeah, right.
I have not read Multiversity. I may read it before the next issue of this hits, just so that I've got a bit more context for this. That said, I think it read well, having not.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's just this team of random characters, heroes from different universes. It works. I don't really need to know who they are.
But it was cool seeing Space Batman and Superman of Earth 9. I forget what his name is. He's essentially Barack Obama as Superman.
Yeah.
Because he was president of that Earth, and he took down Super Doom in Action Comics, which was another thing that they kind of threw out, was Morrison's Action Comics run from the beginning of the New 52, where that Superman comes from. So I feel like Tomasi's just pulling all these threads together, and this is going to be one of those arcs that ends up being super important to the future Superman.
I will say this though. I think it's not a coincidence that this is the one right before Reborn. I think that probably will lead into that quite nicely.
Yep.
I also think that this storyline could have easily have turned me off, because it is like, this is getting into like Morrison-y territory, and that might have really,
Yeah, he is very much.
But I'd argue it's
channeling the Morrison.
It's good Morrison-y though.
Well, this is the thing: is that Tomasi's a good writer. I didn't feel at any point in this issue that I was like confused, or I felt like they were throwing like too many ideas at me. It was these ideas, but it was told in a very nice.
It was like Morrison for kids.
No, that sounds insulting to me.
Or for the layman.
Yeah,
no, it's Morrison for the layman, because that's my main problem with like we talked about this before. There's an issue of Multiversity which revolves around a living issue of a comic book.
Oh, that was not on the show. So explain what this is.
Before the show. Okay, so in Multiversity, the whole thing is these are little snapshots of what's going on in the greater multiverse that Morrison had set up at the end of Final Crisis. And it picks up on threads from there. One of the threads is what's polluting all the different multiverses is this living story. And in one of the Earths, I can't remember which, it takes the form of a cursed comic. So if you read this comic, it leads the gateway of all the bad stuff that starts to happening. And Dr. Savannah, who's Shazam or Captain Marvel's big bad, there's a army of Savannahs going through the multiverse, picking up where this thing is leaving off, trying to take over. So that's the type of Morrison stuff that I'm just like, oh man, this is too far. But then you get the stuff with Superman of Earth 9.
Yeah.
And how he defeats Super Doom and all this. And that comes into play. And you have the Thunderer, who's the aboriginal looking guy with the staff. You get his entire story. He's essentially like on an Avengers team, and he's their version of Superman or Thor, and how the part that he plays. So the fact that it plays with comics legends and archetypes, that's the Morrison that I like. And I feel that's what Tomasi's doing here. Because at the end, you see all the different Supermen or Superwomen that have been taken. And one of them's Captain Carrot.
You see these cages, and you see Captain Carrot, who's a humanoid bunny.
Right.
And
who's their Superman.
And whoever's capturing them does something to him, and it turns him into a regular rabbit.
Yep.
It's really heartbreaking.
Which I'm glad that's what happened, because I thought they were getting rid of Captain Carrot, and there's still a chance.
No, we can reverse this.
They restore him.
We can't wipe Captain Carrot from the multiverse, sure.
No, because honestly, one day I want a Justice League Animals book with Captain Carrot, Crypto, Streaky. Give us the Green Lantern that's like a squirrel. Chip. Yeah,
Chip and Badge. You have the one that's a chipmunk and a squirrel.
Give me all these, and give me Detective Chimp. Throw him on the team. Let's make an animal Justice League.
You know what's funny is Johns loves the Justice League of Animals, the whole Captain Carrot universe, and so does Morrison, which is weird.
Yeah.
So I feel like that crossover there, but Johns has always joked about writing a series about them, like even if it was just a mini series.
That's what it was. His
tease
tease we talked about. It's not actually Watchmen. Yeah. That's just a misdirect. He's doing the Justice League of Animals.
Yeah. Captain Carrot. Yeah.
But the point I was getting at earlier though is just that I think this flows much better than your typical Morrison book where he throws in all these like really straight. Like I started reading Multiversity last night and I fell asleep in the middle of the first issue.
Yeah, first issue's rough.
But
it's a lot to take in.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
And you have to remember the threads from Final Crisis with Nick Shuatoin and all of that too, and the Orrery of Worlds and.
Yeah, it's
the reason I know all this. Yeah.
So Morrison's stories tend to make sense by the end. It's just they start with this overload of information and then kind of fills it in as you go along. Whereas Tomasi is doing
casual reader.
Yeah, whereas Tomasi is going, here's.
Wait, hold on a minute. I'm not a casual reader.
No. When I say casual reader, you went back and went, oh, this ties to Multiversity. You weren't reading Multiversity as it happened, like me and Connor did.
Well, no, but I still have the same problems
casual...
with it. My problem is the way Morrison writes these stories.
Right,
I think that's just that's subjective, though, that isn't it? Because I like that whole bombardment of
because everything you said to me, Connor, there, I think
I read it and I don't like it.
Yeah.
See, I like that because it's like, okay, here, because I can read the first issue, digest it, and then learn as I go through.
And that's not to say...
That's what I was saying about the casual reader, is you have to know as what you're getting into with Morrison, you know, and you have to accept it. If you don't, then you're going to be like Pete, and you're going to be like, I don't have time for this, I'm going to sleep. But if you're more like Connor, you're like, oh, this is going to go somewhere, I'm going to finish it.
Just to clarify here, though, it's not like it's not like I dislike everything that Morrison writes. There's actually like 3 or 4 things that Morrison's written that I love. It's just, when he gets to his heady ideas, where he's doing like, Multiversity, or he's doing whatever other crazy crap he's done.
How do you feel about like the end of his Animal Man stuff?
I read his Animal Man.
Alright. Because that's kind of like low-key Morrison.
Wait.
But it just...
Yeah, but see, my favorite thing he's done is The Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul, because it was this big swashbuckling superhero story that's completely unlike Morrison. Like, when you think Morrison, you don't think swashbuckling. Brainiac.
Yes.
Probably Brainiac going, talk about me instead of Morrison.
Yeah,
Morrison is Brainiac. They're bald.
But yeah, the point I was getting at, though, is just, I think it's better written and easier to get into, and it eases you into what it's doing.
Easier to get into, I will definitely agree with. Better written, I'm not entirely sure I agree with.
If this leads to people going and reading all of Multiverse, cool. Because again, as a continuity wonk, that's what draws me to DC, is their sense of continuity and legacy, and clearly that's what's going on here. Even if it's Superman of Earth 9 and the Thunderer and these new characters, they're still legacy characters because they're Superman archetypes, right? So that leads you back to the bigger haul of DC and what they can do, then awesome. Yeah. But if it's not, if you want the smaller stuff, it works too.
But
so Tomasi, it up.
I think the big thing I'm getting at, though, with it being easier to get into is, with Morrison, I just get frustrated and I'm like, I'm not following this that well. I feel like it's almost like I feel like he's making me feel stupid for not being able to understand everything completely right away, and it annoys me.
Huh. A Scotsman making you feel stupid doesn't feel good, does it?
Oh, I'm glad that you feel that on a regular basis, Matt.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's me. I'm just saying. How's it feel?
Whereas with Tomasi, though, like, I'm taking it all in and I'm enjoying it and I want to read the next one. It's making me engaged. Whereas Morrison, when he's like that, it doesn't make me engaged. It separates me, it disconnects me from what he's writing.
See, interestingly, that's what makes me want to read more of Morrison. It's like, okay, I need to read more to get answers. Whereas this, it's like, okay, I want to read more, but it'll be the next part. So it's like, oh, I'm excited. But the other one is, I need to know the answers.
But I feel like Morrison's writing works better on like TV.
Maybe. They should let him do Doctor Who, like he's wanted to for ages. Just let him do a few episodes of that.
And that's when you get the assassin scorpions, and then we're all screwed because he's bringing them to life. So let's not have him on Doctor Who.
If I have any complaints about the issue, honestly, it would just be... It's not that Superman's driving a car, it's just that the start of the issue, it does just randomly get into it really quickly. It's just... Yeah. You're driving a car, oh, multiverse things happening. You know, there's no scene with him and Lois or something, or just, you know, just easy, you know, end kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it just
makes
starts.
Sense.
But
that's like this would fit more into Action Comics versus Superman.
Exactly,
a family book. Action's been more focused on certain characters. But that said, I'm happy with all of them right now, so I don't care where I'm getting it.
Yeah, it's a minor complaint, but it's just there's something that kind of stuck out to me as I was starting.
Plus, I'm never gonna say no to Ivan Reis on
of course
art.
not.
Even though he did the layouts and Joe Prado did the finishes, it's still Ivan Reis is one of my favorite artists from working with Johns, so it gives it that feeling.